So you've built an AI agent. It works. Congratulations. Now comes the hard part, selling it to enterprises.
Look, I really like your product, but my data is sensitive and I need it to connect to my weird ERP system. Could you deploy it into my cloud account?
That's exactly why we built Alien. Enterprise customers want your software running inside their own environment, their own VPC, next to their data. Today, we're happy to announce two things. First, we're launching the Alien platform. We've built it so that when your next 300K enterprise deal says they have this tiny little requirement, can you deploy into my cloud? You can just say yes. You can ship fast, stay in control, and when something breaks, you don't have to debug for screenshots, copy-pasted logs, and Zoom calls. Second, we've raised $5 million from Basis@, Jibe, and angels from OpenAI, Google, and Databricks. So let me show you how Alien works. First, you define what needs to run in your customer's environment. From that definition, Alien automatically generates white-label deployment options for your customers. For the easy customers, that can be a one-click setup. Launch with CloudFormation, log in with Google, but as customers get more enterprisey, Alien can actually generate Terraform modules, Helm charts, bring your own Kubernetes clusters, custom registries, even air-gap deployments. Now let's open the Alien dashboard. In this demo, we have a healthcare AI agent, and we want to deploy it to a new customer. So let's generate a link for our customer. In this case, it's going to be Mercurial Clinic. So let me click Generate Link. And this actually prepares a link for them. And great, we can now send this link to the customer over email or Slack. And this is what the customer sees. A fully white label deployment portal, your domain, your branding. It feels like your enterprise onboarding, not a mysterious link from alien.dev or something. And the easiest customer would probably just click Launch with CloudFormation. That's it, one click to deploy. But then there are the more complex customers. And Alien gives them all the deployment options that they need. They can use their existing VPC, they can deploy on their existing Kubernetes clusters, and so on and so forth. So let's say that this is an easy customer, and maybe they're just clicking login with Google. So let's do that. And they can choose their project and just click Start Deployment. From this point on, the admin doesn't have to do anything. You'll be able to manage their deployment, push updates, monitor the environment, and fix bugs remotely without access to sensitive data. And the cool thing is that you, as the developer, can track every single API call that's actually happening in the customer environment. This is the deployment, and we can actually see all the resources as they're creating. So while the deployment is running, let me actually explain how Alien works. Alien supports 3 deployment methods. The simplest one is push. Push is kind of like sharing a Google Drive folder. The customer grants least privilege access to an isolated area inside the customer's cloud, separate from the rest of their infrastructure. Push is the easiest to manage, but some enterprises won't allow cross-account access. And that's where pull comes in. Pull is like an app checking for updates. A lightweight agent runs inside the isolated area and calls out to your servers over HTTPS. No inbound ports, no VPN, no shared cloud access, just outbound HTTPS. And for the final boss customers, there's air-gapped. No open connection to your servers, only very specific operations, manually approved by an admin. Now let's go back to the dashboard, and nice, the deployment has finished. Our healthcare AI agent is now running inside the customer's cloud. And of course, they can restrict access only to their employees on their VPN and things like that. Now, let's say that we want to ship a small change. For example, let's say that we want to enable this AI assistant feature, so we're going to change the feature flag to true. And all we need to do is to commit and push, so enable AI assistant. And that should actually trigger a GitHub action that packages the app for AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure, as well as on-prem environment. And once that finishes, Alien should roll out the update to every customer deployment automatically. One of the coolest things about Alien is that the Alien Deployment Manager can actually be deployed to your cloud account as well. So everything is managed from your cloud. Thank you for watching. Sign up at alien.dev and try one of our example projects, or follow @alien on X for product updates. Thank you.